Good evening, fellow exiles. So today I want to continue the Zero to Prepared series by talking about threat assessments and deciding what's more disasters you're more likely to face. And I can't give you just a list because I don't live where you live. I don't know. I'm not in your family situation. Everything's different. We got my wife, the two kids, the two cats. You might be single, have 2.5 children, and 3 1/4 dogs. I don't know. So you gotta come up with this list yourself, but I'm gonna walk you through how you make that list. And the first thing you need to do is get a notebook. You can do it on the app on your phone, but a notebook I find is a lot easier for this. And we're gonna need to write down stuff for the food step when we discuss food storage. And that'll have to be done by every member of your family, so it's a lot easier if you do it on a notebook. Oh, and real quick, I'm sorry if you hear any weird noises or anything. Not only is my chair squeaky, but we have the electric canner running behind me. And we're going to discuss the electric canner when we get to food storage. But it's 99 cents for one of these, or you can splurge, buy a $2 notebook, or steal your kid's notebook because they're not really doing their homework anyway. They won't miss it. Find one around the house. Something. Or like I said, use your phone. It's up to you. But the first thing I want you to do is list out the big Hollywood end-of-the-world disasters that aren't very likely to happen. A meteor impact, a volcano erupting in Los Angeles, an EMP, Russian paratroopers landing in your backyard, coronal mass ejection, and wiping out the power grid, stuff like that. Stuff that they make movies about and write books about that aren't very likely to happen and are very expensive and difficult to prepare for. Write those down on your list. Any of them you can think of. Then write down I call those the Hollywood disasters. Then I have the big disasters. These are somebody in your immediate family dies. You or somebody in your family gets dismembered. You die. And yes, you should be prepared for your own death by having like wills and life insurance and all that stuff. We'll get to that in a later discussion. And another thing, big things like that are life-changing disasters. Then medium disasters. These are important things to prepare for. They're more likely to happen to you than the most previous ones, but they're still pretty big. And it doesn't matter what category you put things in. I'm just giving you examples of ways to think through things when you're trying to come up with your list. So medium disasters, stuff that your neighbor, this is stuff that your neighbor doesn't even know is happening. Like you lost your job, your wife's in the hospital sick, you had to take your kid to the hospital, life-altering diseases that may make it so you harder to work, a cancer diagnosis. That means you have to take a lot of time off of work to recover. You might be going through chemotherapy, or somebody in your family is. They're pretty big deal stuff, but they don't even affect your neighbor. The next thing is small stuff, like a flat tire on your way to work, it's raining out, things like that. And like I said, this isn't the only thing you have to, or they don't have to be in these categories. I'm throwing out categories and giving you some examples to keep you on track thinking about the type of things that might happen around you. So, and don't forget about natural disasters, stuff that affect only your region, like hurricanes, tornadoes, floods, wildfires. Like here, we don't really have to worry about wildfires, and if there's a hurricane in northern Indiana, we got some big issues. But tornadoes, thunderstorms, snowstorms, those are some things that might happen around me that I need to put on the list. And since me and Sarah got married and I moved to Mishawaka to live with her, we're going to sit down and work on this list. I don't have a new list made since we been married, so this is something we need to do. I'm not just telling you to do this. I need to do it too. Another way to think of this, how to make your list, is start with global disasters, then national disasters, then regional disasters. Like I live in the Midwest, so disasters that affect the Midwest. If you live in the Northeast, disasters that affect the Northeast. If you live in the Northwest, move. It's beautiful country out there, but the cities are crazy. And then disasters that affect your state, disasters that affect just your county, personal disasters, and then things that are inconvenient. When you're doing all this work to prepare, you might as well prepare for things that might be inconvenient, like you break your shoelace while you're at work. And now, after you go through and make your list, look through it and organize it by the stuff that's most likely to happen. Breaking a shoelace, losing your job, blah, 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 all the way through until you get to we're attacked by Martians. You don't have to put that on your list, but up to the things that are least likely to happen. Now that gives you a priority list of you should take care of the things that are most likely to happen first. And then as you go through these things and get more and more prepared for all these things, if you're prepared to deal with a power being out for a week while you lost your job and there's supply chain issues because of a pandemic, well, then if the economy collapses, you already got a lot of stuff towards the economy collapsing. A lot of preparedness towards the economy collapsing. You're much better off than 99% of the people out there. But if you're just preparing for the economy to collapse and the United States to fall apart and not be a country anymore, and you lose you're up to your eyeballs in credit cards because you just bought a pallet of MREs, and you come into work tomorrow and they say, hey, Bob, you're fired. Get your stuff and get out. Well, now you got your own a bigger disaster than you would have if you wouldn't have been prepared for the end of the country. On my website, and I'll put a link in the description to it, I have the levels of what I call the levels of preparedness. It's something I made up for my prepper group and for me and Sarah because to keep you organized. So it starts out with simple things that are easy to do, and it's mostly make plans. And some of them on there are only specific if you're part of my prepper group, but it'll still give you a good outline to make your own. So most of the first level is making plans. The second level is working on those plans that you made in the level 1 and making new plans. Level 2 is acting out those plans and making new plans all the way through until you get more and more prepared. I think it's a really great idea because we don't have as much food as I like. We just bought our big water filter and all this stuff, but for a couple years now, I've had 1,000 rounds of AR or ammo for the AR and body armor. I can't eat that. I can't drink the body armor. So I'm really bad at setting priorities. So I made this list for myself. I hope it helps you guys and other people set their priorities. And remember, be flexible with these lists and review them every now and then because your life situation and what you face and what's going on in the world is always changing, and we need to be flexible and adaptable to those changes. So the next video, I mentioned we're going to talk about food storage. That's not going to be the next video. That's going to be two of the prepper zero to prepared videos from now. The next one I'm going to be talking about water. But if you want to learn more about food storage, check out a playlist. I'll put the playlist up here or wherever at the end card or wherever I can put playlists. Sarah's been doing prepper kitchen videos. They're really good. She's teaching you how to cook, how to store food and how to cook delicious food from mostly stored ingredients or entirely stored ingredients. It's a really good idea, and it's something that's really lacking on YouTube. And she really enjoys doing that kind of stuff, and she's really having a lot of fun making these videos. So it'd make me happy if you made her happy if you went and watched them, and it would really help you out on your preparedness journey. Because there's no point in storing food if all you can make is bland red beans and rice with no ingredients and gruel, and you're like Oliver Twist, be like, please sir, can I have some more gruel? That you don't want to live that kind of life. You want, while your world's falling apart, it'd be really nice if you can have some nice green rice with the video died. But like I said, it'd be really nice if in the end of the world you're eating great food. That'll really help keep up morale. And if you lose your job, not having to eat bland food, being able to eat some nice food, really help morale, make you feel better, make your family a lot happier. Because stress kills a lot of people in the long run. So if you're eating healthier and easier now, plus if any short-term disaster, you're eating well and eating good food, that'll help with your morale, make you less stressed out, less likely to have a heart attack. Because if you have a heart attack, that's it. Well, if you die from a heart attack, then all this preparedness doesn't work. Canner's done. So, stay tuned. 2 more weeks. Like and subscribe. Turn on the bell notification so you get the video. Because in 2 more weeks, we're going to be discussing all of our water storage strategy. From our big water filter to like Sarah's water bottle here with a filter to how we're storing water, purifying water. It's going to be all water all the time. About 15-20 minutes of storing everything you need to know about storing water and how to calculate how much water you need to store and how much you need to carry with you in like a bug out bag too. I'm going to teach you how to do that. It's really simple math. If you know how to divide by 2, you can do it. So thanks for joining. I hope you find this helpful, and I hope you stay tuned and watch these other videos that I got coming up so I can help you out. Me and Sarah, while we're passionate about preparedness, we also really want to help other people become more prepared, because we don't want to live in a world where people are suffering unnecessary from things that they could easily prepare for and not have to worry about it. And it takes a disaster and turns it into a minor inconvenience for you. That we don't want to see anybody have to go through any hard times, or as few little hard times as possible. So thanks for watching, and remember, we, his people, will start rebuilding.